RSL Nation! Welcome back to the Brew.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back.
We be here, we be here, we ready to talk soccer. There's been a lot of soccer,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I like a
Uh,
lot of soccer.
yeah, we've had Champions League this week. We got, as we speak, we got Europa Leagues that's happening. Of course, we got Open Cup. So this has been a good week of soccer. Good week of
It's
soccer.
it's been a
Um,
busy week of soccer.
not a good week for our teams. Unfortunately, City's
Oh
out,
yeah, City.
Barca's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not getting into that because I wanted to punch a screen. I was kind of upset
Can we
yesterday,
get
but
can we get into it just a little bit, please? Just a little
sure,
bit.
sure, sure.
I think my biggest gripe is about the City Madrid game. Um,
Yeah.
you can tell me all you like that Champions League is in Madrid's DNA. But you cannot tell me that the way they played is acceptable. When I say acceptable, I mean that's not soccer. I think I saw a couple of posts say that it showed pictures of like 11 guys just hanging off the crossbar. That's all Madrid did. Madrid has no soccer. They don't play the
Right.
beautiful game.
Well, of course, I wanted City to win because obviously that's my team, but I wanted them to make a part two of them winning the treble,
Yeah, no, that's why it's so rare, the treble.
right?
That's why they made the Netflix series. But yeah,
If I do remember, the only team right now that could win the treble is Leverkusen.
actually, that might be ruined right now. Let me just double check that.
Oh, are
Um,
they losing as we speak?
oh, they won.
See, there is a chance Leverkusen still has hope they could win the treble.
Hmm,
There
interesting.
there's still hope for them. But yeah, like we mentioned, there's been good soccer this week. We got
Wait, I'm not done with my rant. Are you kidding
what?
me?
Continue on with
The-
your rant
uh, let, let,
about
let,
the city.
let me just tell you, there's a little bit more. Just give me a little bit more. Um, I think this also it seeps into the Ronaldo Messi debate as well, because the way that Madrid plays, which is absolutely horrible soccer, is exactly how Ronaldo plays, which is totally horrible soccer. Messi plays beautiful soccer, just like what Barca used to play, which what City plays now.
At this
So
point, if you are a Ronaldo fan, I don't think they're listening to us anymore.
look, yeah, that's basically the end of my rant. That Madrid plays horrible soccer, which equals Ronaldo. City, which is Pep, plays beautiful soccer, which is Messi. That's
It's as
all.
simple as that. Simple as that. So I think if it comes down to those four teams, if I had to choose a team that I want to lift the trophy, I'm gonna have to go with Dortmund.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, just because I'm like, I hate Madrid, I hate PSG. Let's go Dortmund.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go Dortmund out of
Yeah,
those four because yeah, that
I was
was
like,
not
yeah, and like, there's no Argentines to really cheer for, so I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
actually there are none.
there are none. Yeah, so I'm like,
But
yeah,
that's good. That's good in a way because that means there's
they're they're they're, they're branching out.
less chances to get injured for Copa America.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But we got a lot to discuss in today's episode. So we had a game at the Riots on Saturday where it wasn't a win, it wasn't a loss, but it was a point against Columbus, against a very depleted Columbus team. So
Yeah.
we'll get into details of that. We got our opponent that we got announced today for Open Cup, but not the venue that we as RSL fans wanted, which is
Nope.
unfortunate. And then we'll get into this Saturday's match against Chicago in the Windy City.
Hmm. They're all very good topics. So might as well start, right?
Yeah, let's get right into it. So, game against Columbus. As we know, Columbus just played their midweek game. They played against Tigres in Tigres, where they won. They had Cucho. They had a full cast of
They
players.
put
They
in
had Rock.
everyone. They put in
They had
everyone.
everybody except the kitchen sink. So
That's a weird saying.
yeah, so this on paper was something where RSL should have won because we had a very strong lineup. The only, I guess, strong player, I guess, if air quotes that you want to say, was Aiden Morris. and Russell Rowe up top for the crew,
Matan.
and
Matan.
Matan.
Mhm.
Matan, Camacho as center back. So they still had some good, solid players for Columbus, but they didn't have their Cucho, they didn't have their Nagby, they didn't have their Rossi.
Mhm.
Rossi off the bench, but not playing the full 90. So
Yeah, looking at this, you would think that, well, and it kind of did happen that way in a sense, but you would have thought we'd have had the front foot this whole game, to be honest.
mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I don't know what to say. To be honest, it's so frustrating seeing some parts of this field. Um, I sent you some screenshots regarding our lineup. Do you remember what the screenshots were about?
You send me a lot of screenshots every day. You see, you send me more texts than anybody that I've ever met. So which one was it?
It so I decided to focus in on the Crooks Luna pairing.
That's right. Okay, now I do remember.
Okay. In fact, I'm gonna pull up our text. How many screenshots did I send you?
Too
Now I'm too many.
many.
Um, so I did four screenshots of four different games that where Crooks and Luna played side by side. And
Facts.
I didn't show you the rest of the lineup. But the the FOTMOB scoring for those two side by
Mhm.
side has not been good the entire season except for one game, which was the snow game.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
snow game for me, I can't count it stat wise. I can't really count it playing wise because there really was no strategy. It was just like just
Go out there and get the ball.
yeah, exactly. But the other games though, um both of them are averaging 6 point somethings, which is average. It's like it's like getting a C in a class. So it was just average. Now my question is that pairing affecting the rest of the field? Is there something with them too that's just not jiving? Because I've I think you're exhausted of this. I think I'm exhausting everyone else with this conversation, but there's something in this conversation that no one wants to pull out unless the only thing that they want to take out of this is just move Luna to the middle.
So obviously, like, yes, we're beating a dead horse. We say it week after week. The right side is the strong side for RSL, but I think it's something. Yes, with that chemistry, with the communication, with Crooks, with Luna. Yes, this is Crooks' first season. He's only what five-ish, 6 games into the season, so maybe that has a part to do with it. He was so used to coming off the bench in Middlesbrough, so he never really did have that starting role per se. So I don't know what exactly it is. So would having Barajas come in, being in that left spot, be I fix the solution? I don't know entirely. I think it just all comes down to communication, figuring out how each player plays.
It's frustrating for me because
Yeah,
yeah, yes, we,
absolutely,
we we've been talking about the right side, the right side, the right side. Yes, the right side's great,
for
but
sure.
but you need to have like good sides, both sides, left and right.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
when you have Luna that is a good player, just not showing up. Everyone complains about Crooks because he's not the 10 that everyone expected. It's like
Mhm.
flip. What needs to be changed? Pablo doesn't look like he's gonna change anything.
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to I'm trying to stay optimistic because I think yes, season's still early. Maybe he's still dealing with stuff, but I don't know. I have a little bit of hope that they're gonna work things out. That come Leagues Cup, come Open Cup, that everything will be all hunky dory. Well, let's hope.
And yeah, I don't know. Here's So I wonder maybe you bench Crooks and you put Luna in the middle and you put Barajas on the left. Maybe this next game, given a little preview of my lineup, maybe that's the combination that you put out to see if that works. I don't know. Or maybe you change up the whole formation, do a 4-4-2.
because if I am correct, I don't know if we have seen a Luna Barajas this season, have we?
I haven't. So
I don't believe we have this season. So maybe that could be a good combination out on the pitch because we know how well Barajas Chicho works. So and Luna Chicho works very well. So those three could be a good possibility up top.
I mean, and to say that they work like whoa work.
No, yeah,
I mean, they're they're fine.
yeah.
I just think there's something shut off with Luna. There's like zero. And going with this Columbus game, that was just something that was super frustrating. For example, I took my son, everyone saw on Twitter and Instagram, I took my son and they'll after the game, he said the
Wait,
funniest thing.
man, way to disappoint. Like the kid was looking forward to goals. Like let me tell you, he was like, "Papa, quiero goles."
So he told me after the game, and I had to chuckle because he says, "Dad, that's the worst RSL game ever. Do you know why?" And I said, "Why?" He's like, "Because there was no goals." I'm like, "Well, I guess for him that means that's the worst RSL game ever." But it, it's super frustrating with how well some parts of the field work, and when you want the parts that need to work, um, they just aren't working. By the way,
Yeah.
I have a little visitor behind me.
Oh, you have a little like a monkey on your back again?
Yeah, for those that are watching this video, they just saw feet just go flying right here.
Not your not your feet.
Not my feet. I'd be really
But
flexible.
yeah, so if you do remember back in the first half of this game, I believe it was the Gomez to Chicho, no, the Gomez to Crooks going down that right side cross. I believe it hit the crossbar, and I was just banging my head. I was like, "Come on, finish those chances, Crooks!" It was on a platter. Got to go back of the net.
Well,
Uh
and we can't be that critical. I honestly don't think we deserve to be that critical because it was a chance, and it wasn't like one that was like a super easy like tap in chance either. It took some skill to even get there and get a foot onto it.
no, for sure. But it was just one that it was right there. It was our best opportunity in the first half, and we kind of didn't make anything of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to be critical about it because it was a chance and it put Columbus on their back foot. I'm totally happy with what everything that went down on the right side. Um, and I think, and here's my deepest darkest opinion. um,
Well, it's not too dark anymore, apparently.
it's not too dark. I honestly think Crooks had a better game than Luna. Crooks was in more positions of causing issues to Columbus than Luna.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Definitely in moments, yes.
I mean, and I'm watching it from like a fan's perspective. Like, the don't get me started with the fans' perspective. There was fans around me that were just guys. You guys need to learn learn more soccer.
I was about to say there. Yes, going on your point, there's a few fans where when I notice when I do watch the fans, you guys need to watch more soccer, learn the rules more. So I'm like,
I think we're gonna get ourselves in trouble just like that. The well, what's her name? Haran, the on the
oh
women's national team.
yeah,
We're gonna
Lindsay.
we're gonna get ourselves in trouble, just like she got in trouble. But like for instance, the PK shout where we got the PK,
Well,
but
Cooley was clearly offside.
it, clearly, if you know what you're looking for, um, those that didn't just started yelling, "Ref, you suck." So, um,
And plus, the AR2, who was on your side on the east side, um, she has plenty of experience. She's refed in the Women's World Cup, so she has a good pedigree. So I immediately looked to her. She's looking at the center, and you could tell something wasn't right. So she runs over to the center, and she's like, "Yeah, he was off." So I was like, not good for us."
yeah. So, but I mean, overall, that I wasn't upset with how the team played, to be honest. The team played. Uh, so
I I
there was
I meant
lacking.
I mentioned it in the last episode that I believe Columbus, they're top 3 in the MLS in possession, and you look at the stats in the first half, and that's literally what Columbus was doing. Just keep away from RSL just because they were playing for that point. They were satisfied with the draw. 58% possession in the first half, 239 passes to our 151, and that was the entire
Mhm.
game. That was the storyline of the whole game. Keep away from RSL because Columbus is satisfied just with the point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it was more than obvious. They had to do
Mhm.
that, especially traveling to Monterey, traveling to us. They
Mhm.
had to keep away. But I mean, they did keep away well enough to keep us away. So
Yeah, I honestly, when it comes 70th minute when they brought in Rossi, I was like, crap, game's over. Rossi might get one in the back of the net, but Rossi was kind of quiet. Like he didn't really have much attack and no chances. So I'm like, okay, satisfied here.
do you think some Eastern Conference teams just come to Salt Lake just to check a box, say, look, we're playing this game. We're not going to like go all out for a win.
Well,
I mean,
going,
just overall.
I would say yes because maybe the elevation, because I know in the NBA there's huge superstars that they're like, oh, elevation, altitude. Nope, we're gonna sit out this game. So maybe they treat it like that. They're like, oh, Utah, Colorado, we're not playing in these games,
I know LAFC would have loved to sit out both our game and Colorado's game since they lost
right,
both games.
right. So it was not the result that I would have wanted. Any RSL would have fans would have wanted. It was honestly a punch to the gut because it just didn't seem like we came ready to play.
Now, we're really critical. I mean, just because we're critical because we love soccer, but we should actually be kind of glad that that's a point. It's we dropped 2 points at home, but it's exactly so. I guess going back to what you said, we dropped another 2 points. That's four
Oh,
points in
yeah,
two
four
games.
4 points in 2 games. So that's what kind of upsets me the most because we can't finish chances. We were up 1-0 in the Minnesota game. We give away a late goal. And then in this Columbus game, we can't even get one in the back of the net. We had a couple of good chances in the first half with Crooks and Gomez. Can't finish that. Second half with a late PK, Julio doing Julio things and being offside. So it's like we need to fix these itty bitty mistakes, and then we can be able to get the lead.
Julio doing Julio things. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
I have a real quick fact for you. Did you know
okay.
that we were the only 0-0 draw over the weekend?
Why do I feel like you're wrong there? No, you're wrong because
Dang
there was.
it!
I was like, you had Red Bull Chicago, you had Dallas and Seattle.
Oh, so the Sunday games. I'm
No,
looking at
those were Saturday also.
what the heck? Saturday the 13th.
Yeah, you had.
Oh yeah, never mind. They're in the middle of everyone else's scores.
I was like, I'm looking at it right here. I'm like, you're mistaken.
Fine, fine. We're the only 0-0 in the Rocky Mountains.
But I think the one substitution that I was scratching my head as when I saw it come in was the very last substitution for RSL. I was like, why are we taking out Brody and bringing in Hidalgo so late in the game? I was like, what? I was like, what is a 90-second sub like that gonna do to all of a sudden change everything?
Yeah, that was
So
that was strange as well. And to be honest, I don't have an opinion on it. Just the only opinion I have is why.
yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just scratching my head. I was like, what is a 90-second sub gonna do all of a sudden when we're tied 0-0 to change what Brody couldn't do? So it's like, really? Come on.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it is what it is. Did you take a
yeah,
looter?
so
Hey, she just sitting there.
we got a little monkey mascot on your back.
Yep, exactly.
So unfortunately, with the draw, Houston won, so they jumped us in the table. So fourth place in the West now. So
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, remember what I mean, they said at the very beginning of the season, don't expect like super results, but these results right now that put us in fourth, I can handle.
yeah. So we'll take it. For me, another game that caught my eye over the weekend. Um, I guess I'll beat you to it, was the Inter Miami Kansas City, because I knew that was on your mind.
Why? Why would you do that?
The fourth biggest attendance in MLS games, that's pretty impressive. I think it was what, 73, 74,000?
I have my other opinions. I have so many opinions. Like if someone
Yeah,
were to come up and talk to me, you'd be there for like an hour listening to
we're
my
gonna make
opinion.
a book at when we're done with this of Alan's opinions, and people will either love it or hate it. So that was actually really cool to see a huge showing up at Arrowhead Stadium. Not obviously to see Messi, but there was a lot of Kansas City fans. So that's cool that there's that many lovers of soccer in Kansas
Yeah,
City.
I mean, it's good that everyone wants to come out because of Messi. I mean,
Yeah.
that was Messi, Suarez, the quadruple.
Mhm.
I think it's really good. But it's like what we always say: can we sustain this amount of fans? Can we have this amount of people still come?
Yeah.
That in fact that might segue a little bit into our next topic. But um, I'm with you. I like it. I like seeing that many people go to the games.
Yeah, another game that caught my eye over the weekend was the battle for, I guess, first place in the West, the Vancouver LA. I was expecting Vancouver to, I guess, be better, but we've already beaten Vancouver, so not really.
I don't expect Vancouver to be better than Galaxy right now. Galaxy, I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened in the offseason, but they are good.
Yeah, so I am nervous when RSL has to play Galaxy because Paintsil, Joveljic, Fagundes, like that's a dangerous squad.
I'm only worried about Paintsil. That's the only
Yeah.
one I'm worried about, especially with how we play defense.
Oh yeah, yeah. So those are some really, yeah. I'm looking, yeah, no red cards over the weekend, so it was a.
I think I think you're lying.
Oh, sorry, the LAFC. LAFC. I had to look back. I was like, nope, that's a lie. Crepo.
There's one for Portland, there's one for Toronto, there was one for the Red Bulls.
I had to refresh. I had to go
Ah,
back. There we go. Yep.
I love how we check ourselves. This is great.
Nope. I do remember. I was like, I was literally watching the game. I was like, yeah, of course, Crepo got a red card in that game.
It's true, which eh, dicey on that one, but we're not gonna get into controversial calls here. We're not instant replay.
If you want instant replay, go to the other YouTube page. It's over there.
Yeah, did you link it somewhere
No, no, it's probably it's down. Keep
on the
scrolling down.
on the suggestions?
Yeah, it's on the suggestion tab. Keep going.
That's funny. Well, let's speaking of fans, because that's how I wanted to segue into this next one. Fans. Um Open Cup.
Yes, yes. So 8 MLS teams. RSL has the luxury of playing in the oldest tournament in the US. So we're at like over 100 years. So that's pretty special. So um we had the draw today for the round of
Hmm.
32, and RSL has the luxury of not playing at home.
Yeah, no. Um we got lined up with New Mexico, which Trey is super happy about. And I think
Home
a
of Breaking
couple
Bad.
Home of Breaking Bad. I couldn't stand more than 2 episodes of that. I didn't watch it. I hated Breaking Bad. So
I've never seen Breaking Bad, but whenever I think of New Mexico, that's what I think of. So
um yeah, New Mexico. I have nothing to say about New Mexico. Never been there. Actually, yeah, that's a lie. We have been there when we were
we have been there.
going to East Arizona.
I was like, yeah, you probably have driven through New Mexico, so
Yeah. Anyways, New Mexico. New Mexico. Everyone should be very careful with this New Mexico team, to be
yeah.
honest.
So all of you people on Twitter who are saying, "Oh, this is gonna be an easy game," they're in the USL Championship. I'm like, you guys might want to like look back and look how dangerous this New Mexico team is. The past several years, they've been top three, top four squad. If you do remember, Devin Sandoval used to play for this team. He was leading goal scorer for them. Obviously, doesn't play for them anymore. So they've had some good strikers up through the years, very good coach. It's always New Mexico, Phoenix, Sacramento, who are always the best teams in the USL on the West Coast. So unfortunately, RSL got the worst of the brunt. On the other, I guess our division, the Jamie Watson division, you have NYC FC2 from the MLS Next Pro, who will be hosting the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, who the Switchbacks, this is their debut in the tournament.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah,
well, so I figured out why, or I understood why. So
yeah.
apparently the top eight from last year's standings were put into the eight MLS teams, so they come into this round. So that means the
That
Switchbacks were top eight last year, even though they're last place this year.
they're not doing great this season. So that's why I so badly wanted RSL to be playing the Switchbacks, because you have a team that's at 0 points. I'd be like, oh, that'd be
That'd have
like
been great.
on a platter, on a platter. But of course, RSL got slated with the team that's right now third in the West in the USL.
Yeah, and and on the topic of U.S. Open Cup, I'm just gonna say something flat out right now. If you're one of those that at the beginning of the season that said we need to win Leagues Cup, we need to win MLS Cup, we need to win all these cups, we need to win US Open Cup, and you haven't watched a single US Open Cup game this season, you're the problem.
You guys are the problem. Like, you guys missed out on watching El Farito. Man, you guys are you guys missed out on some good soccer. You guys missed out on watching freaking Vegas last night. Like
There, there
Monterey
was
Monterey Bay.
there was a lot of good games the past couple of rounds
Like
to be quite
Al and I
honest.
were Al and I were texting each other last night. You have to remind me, which game was it, the one that had the game tying goal freaking the 95th minute?
Wasn't that the Spokane one?
That was, oh yeah, you're right. The Spokane game. It was 1-0. They're down and freaking a freaking laser 30 yards out. I'm like, shut the front door.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it was really good, and it gave me a feeling of have you ever what's it called? Oh, the general view effect or something like that. Where when you're up in an airplane and you look out the window and you start thinking to yourself, "Whoa, I'm part of something bigger," kind of feeling.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's so many people out there and I'm just one. Wow. Um, I kind of got that feeling the watching the past couple of rounds of US soccer where I see all these teams. There's so many teams
Yeah,
that could be like brought up if we had a pro rel system.
right? Like, you look at, like, I'll mention several times El Farito, my favorite new small club. Like, most of those guys aren't even professional players. Like, they're former players, but most of them have like part-time jobs, full-time jobs, and like they're just doing this just so they could get a name for themselves. So that's why I love the US Open Cup, because it's where dreams are made, because like anybody who's anybody can go and compete for this tournament, which is really cool.
Did you know El Farolito? That's their now name.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
did you hear on the broadcast that they've actually won this tournament back in 1993?
I did know that, but they were a different name. It
Mm-hmm.
was
Oh,
do
something
remind me.
something Mexico something.
Yeah, yeah. So that's actually really cool. So
I'm just saying there's I think if we would spend a little bit more time, like I think I mentioned in my tweet, we don't need to be obsessed. We don't need to be obsessed with what all these teams do, where they're from, where they are in the standings, but at least recognize them and let I recognize that they could have the same amount of talent or potential talent as MLS or
yeah,
as professionals.
yeah. Speaking of other Open Cup games, we had Sarah. Sarah, she lives over there in Virginia now. She was watching the Richmond Kickers, because me being a good brother, I told her about it. I was like, hey, your
What a great
local,
brother.
go to great brother, right? I was like, hey, your local team is in the US Open Cup. Go support them. And she did, but unfortunately, Richmond is out. They lost in PKs.
But did you notice that even with the smaller teams, there were still like supporters groups.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, it made me so happy and
Like
just
when she sent that video, I was like, even though like that stadium used to be like a NASCAR stadium, like the way it's situated, I'm like, that is a very cool, just small town feel, just supporting a small club. Like, I just love the energy there.
they played against Loudon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think oh it was Wednesday, wasn't it? I'm here and looking on Tuesday. Um, I think
Was it?
those
Yeah.
two teams are somewhat rivals because
Hmm.
Loudon is from that same area, and from what I understood, there was like a lot of banter between
Yeah.
like supporters groups and
Loudon's a different part of Virginia.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, when I was watching it, you could hear it on the broadcast, like
Oh yeah.
people were getting loud. I was like,
Yeah.
there's actually rivalries down here.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I like. Like it's those rivalries that people don't know about, which is in lower division soccer.
And here in Utah, we can't we don't and we can't experience it because we don't have it.
Yeah, like we have obviously like lower division teams, but they don't really play against each other.
But yeah, we don't have anything regionally like there's no team in St. George. There's no club in St. George that comes up here and plays us. There's
Yeah.
no team up north in Ogden that plays somewhere in Salt Lake. There's no the only thing we have is BYU
The
Utah, but they don't have teams.
yeah. Yeah.
So I love the US Open Cup and it brings me every year to think, wow, we do have a lot of lower level teams that people for me surprisingly still support.
So I'll have to ask you this. With obviously seeing our opponent, we'll get into this more come next week because RSL will have a game, home game May the 4th, and then this game will either be May 7th or 8th. We'll find out when it comes closer. But do you expect RSL to go full first team against New Mexico?
Do I expect them to go full team? No. Do I want them to go full team? Yes. I think
Because
if we're gonna take ourselves seriously, we need to put out a full team.
yeah, because we look what we did last year against Vegas. It was a mixture of first and second team. So
Also, can I throw in this little plug? I think I'm not gonna get looked well upon, but can we stop complaining about midweek games? Like, can we stop complaining like, oh, it's a midweek game, I can't go because work, school, whatever. My friends, like it,
if you're fully committed to something, go to it.
we're such hard nosed. We're like getting on people and here I am. I'm like I can't even get to a regular season game because I got kids. So, anyways,
Bring your kids.
but I really think that if we were to have gotten the home field advantage and played the 7th or 8th of May, um,
I wonder how many fans actually would have shown up for that Tuesday or Wednesday.
historically, I think maybe we would have had 10,000 at the most. But
Oh,
that's just
you're generous to give 10,000.
I think because of how well the team is doing, that's why. But I think like historically, we would have gotten maybe seven, eight.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that would have been and what sucks is if RSL does win against New Mexico, then we got to go on the road to either Colorado Springs or NYC. So it's gonna be difficult. We've got to go in 2 games on the road to then go to the round of what is that round of 8,
16,
16?
16.
I can do math.
You're going to the Sweet 16 afterwards.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. So
by the way, it's a 9.5 hour drive direct from my house to the New Mexico Stadium.
yeah, and just like Vegas, they also play in a baseball stadium.
Oh yeah, I've never been, but sounds horrible.
Yeah, so for those of you guys who are driving or flying, let us know because I'm actually kind of interested in going on this trip because I'm like, it's midweek. I'm like, why not? How often do you go to New Mexico for a soccer game?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I can say zero.
Yeah, it's like how many people are like, hey, I want to go to New Mexico for a soccer game. So
That sounds like a great idea.
yeah, so
We're not being like like rude sarcastic, but I mean really. But I
no,
hear
but
they have a great fan base.
they do. From what I have seen, they do know how to light it up. There are a few other like matchups in the Open Cup that do interest me, but the one I'm obviously focused on is ours against New Mexico because we got to get past them first and then look at everything else. So
Yep,
one
yep.
game at a time.
One game at a time. Keep it here.
Absolutely. But with that being said, we have a game Saturday, Windy
Yes.
City against Los Chicago
Los
Fire.
Chicago Fire.
But before we get into our little preview of Chicago, let me do my little plug here. RSL Unified, their season starts Saturday. So any RSL fans that are making the trip to go watch RSL Saturday night, before you guys go to the game, head over to watch the Unified team, 10 a.m. It'll be fun. It's open for anybody that wants to watch. They're playing against Chicago, so go support them.
Yes, there's let's be real here. The unified team is a very special team, and I love that RSL is participating
Hmm.
in this program. Um, and I think Zach McMath is one of their biggest fans per se on the team. It's really great to give kids the opportunity to participate in something a lot bigger, and it gives others the opportunity to provide a service for these players. These guys train, they do their best to perform, and really they put their heart and soul into RSL. They feel and they are RSL players. So, if you are traveling, just like what Marco says, go out and support them because they need all the support that they can get. Um, cheering wise, what else? I think
Yeah,
just
I,
cheering wise.
I wish I could be there, but not going to be able to be there. So 10 a.m. Go support them for their first game of the season. That'd be awesome, you guys. But go fight, win, unified team. Go get that first dub of the season.
Hope fight win. Yeah, we're gonna be
No,
like
but
little pom poms, like woo
woo
woo.
woo. No, but RSL. We play that evening in Soldier Field. No, this is not Soldier Field. This is America First Field.
Soldier Field. Nope. Nice try.
Nice try. Chicago, they are, let's see, where's Chicago right now in the standings? They're looking at 11th right now.
Oh,
So
that sounds like a great number.
sounds like a great number. They are also coming off a 0-0 draw last Saturday.
Oh yeah, against the New York Red Bulls, which
Yeah.
that actually is really good with where the Red Bulls are.
Why is that?
The Red Bulls are second, and if Chicago is somewhat to pull off a 0-0 against Columbus is or Columbus against New York is good,
That's right.
right?
That's right. That's right.
But again, Chicago is not one of the best teams right now.
So I have a stat for you, and I told you earlier this week that I was going to share this stat. So here I go. So
All right.
right now, right, right now, Chicago Fire, they are ranked third. Well, I guess second because there's two other teams that are tied for first. So they're second in the MLS with penalties awarded. So they've made 3 penalties on the season. They've converted all of them. So that's something, I guess, to keep an eye on.
I wish you would have taken that a step further and would have given me who was fouled for those PKs. How many PKs have they been awarded?
I just said they've been awarded three
Oh,
PKs.
three.
Yeah,
Um,
and they've converted all of them.
now, do you know which games they were in?
Now you're gonna make me have to go back and search all the games.
Well, they've only scored 11 goals, so if
Okay, okay, it was uh again in the Houston game, Shaqiri scored a PK.
oh dang it,
Um, let's go to the other game. Let's see here.
we're just gonna go game by game at this point. There we go, Chicago. Yeah, that game, but where are their other PKs from?
So is FotMob lying to me about stats? Is it not actually 3 PKs?
I'll start from the beginning. You start from the.
Oh no, I found it. Go to the Cincinnati game. Cincinnati has a PK. Also Shaqiri.
Oh, okay. Oh, so all Shakiri's goals are going to be PKs or what?
I believe they are just PKs.
Which that might be a good thing for us because Shakiri supposedly came into the league being supposedly a dangerous player, but the guy
So
is not that
yep.
dangerous.
So Shaqiri has 2 goals in the season, 2 PKs.
Well,
Oh, so their other PK this season has come from Brian Gutierrez, who is their leading goal scorer on the season at 3 goals.
3 goals. I guess I shouldn't laugh because let's see. Um, well, yeah, he's their leading goals and assist. Goals
Yeah.
plus assist. That's not good.
No, no.
It's not
Oh,
good
you're
for
talking
them.
about oh, no, Herbers leads their team in assists.
But that's not Herbert. That's like Herbert's. Herbers.
Herbers.
Yeah. But it's not like the Herbert, the Brazilian.
Yeah. No, I know that.
Oh, okay. I'm clarifying just in case other people were like Herbert. No, it's
Yeah,
Herbert.
yeah, Herbert. But
Um,
yeah, that's your stat for you. So they're tied. They're a second right now in the MLS with penalties awarded. So and they've conceded all their penalties. So that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously RSL we've only given up. I don't think we've given up any PKs this season.
I can't remember any PKs to be
No,
honest.
I
So,
don't. Yeah, so we're good there.
but looking at the table and Chicago, they've given
Hmm.
up 14 goals this season, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, uh, third most in the league, behind San Jose and Portland. They've given up 14 goals. So that's also something to keep an eye on, which means that their back line is not strong. I don't think
Yeah,
it is.
it has not been strong as of late. They gave up 3 goals on the road to Atlanta. They gave up 3 goals at home to Montreal in that lucky goal by Acosta a couple weeks back with the wind.
Well, and I was gonna ask you, can you name any other players like off the top of your head besides Acosta and Shaqiri?
Oh man, well you just mentioned one. We got Gutierrez, Hebers.
Well, besides the ones that we've already mentioned, like, can you name any of their other starters?
Oh man,
Like,
we're
they
playing
don't have, for me, they
Chicago
don't have
trivia.
anyone.
I was gonna say Kai Kamara, but he doesn't play for Chicago anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Um,
But I
who
guess
plays for
that's what I'm getting at. They
who
don't
plays
have
for?
they don't have anyone that we have to be worried about. I don't think.
Well, they got Andrew Gutman, who played for Atlanta and then went to Chicago, went to Colorado, and then went to Chicago.
Yeah, if you have to give me that long of a family tree of where the people played, I that means I'm not worried about them.
They have a Argentine on their team in the name of Federico Navarro.
Yep,
Um,
he's a no-namer.
and that's about it. That's literally their roster right there.
Yeah, here's the thing. With Chicago, I'm not worried a single bit about what they're doing now. What they do well is a possession game. They like to hold on to the ball, which I don't think we mind. As we saw against Columbus, we don't mind people holding on to the ball as long as we can have our chances. Now, we just can't have those chances convert into anything else. Um, if you look at goals per match, also, we're tied
Hmm.
with them in goals per match because we both have 11 goals on the season.
Yeah,
But
I
our
just noticed that as well.
Yeah, but the goals conceded, just like I mentioned, they're them defensively is it doesn't look good. And I wonder if because of so much possession that they've had, I wonder if a lot of their goals have been on breakaways or stuff like
From what I can remember, because I don't watch a lot of Chicago games,
that. Who does? I don't think even Chicagoans watch Chicago games.
from what I can recall from watching Chicago games this season, I feel like a lot of their games, their goals have come from like breakaways, PKs, obviously. Um, but yeah, I think that's something to keep an eye on. Their backline does seem very weak. Doesn't seem like a lot of experience. I feel like we're saying these things that are going to come bite us right in the butt.
I know it always happens to us. I think it's happened to us before actually. Can't remember against who though. Anyways,
Uh, yeah, but anywho, so you do you feel like we're going to be going with similar lineup because we've said these past 2 games for RSL, this is our strongest lineup on paper. Didn't really show it. Coming away with 2 draws. What changes, if any, do you feel like we need to do in order to actually secure those 3 points instead of just getting a draw again?
here's the thing, and I keep saying this because I believe it. I'm not going to change the lineup right now, only because I trust Luna's experience. I just need Luna to get it into gear, like he's running on first, second gear when I need him to be like in fourth, fifth gear by now.
Yeah.
Like we're a third of the way through the season almost.
Hmm.
Are we?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
How many games have we played?
We played
Now we've only played eight. We're only a quarter of the way through the season, if that.
we've played 8 games, by the way.
um, wait, what's a third of the way? How many games are there? 38, 34, 34. I'm gonna say 34. Um, Anyways, we're only a quarter of the way through the season, but I need him to be like ramping up. Like we're about ready to get into Open Cup now, and by then
Yeah.
we should already be like the ball's rolling, like third, fourth gear, like rev, like
Also, that
get
was
it.
good. No, I'm right there with you. Like, if at this point after this game, after the Chicago game, it's not clicking, if we come away with a draw or a loss, I'm like Pablo's gonna be like, things need to change ASAP, because we're getting to the point where we have Open Cup. After Open Cup, we got Leagues Cup, which is this is crunch time. So this should be, in my opinion, not a loss, maybe a draw, but definitely a win. So,
Well, you just gave away your prediction real fast, but I don't want to go there yet. I just want to
well,
mention a couple.
I didn't say a draw. I didn't say a loss. So,
You just said it's going to be a win. Anyways, um, so here's a couple of things that we need to add on though. We're still in center back trouble.
yeah. So we have until, I guess, the 22nd, which is this coming Monday, when the window closes. So I'm like, eek, and
And
we haven't heard anything at all. And right now we still have Holt, Silva injured. Like, we have players in the Monarch that we can bring up. We got Farnsworth. We got other guys.
well,
But it's
and
like,
we've also seen Twitter reports that Pablo's having to play on the scout team because there's not
yeah.
enough players to play. So Pablo has been having to step in and play on the scout team in order for the first team to practice. So that's also not good.
Which that definitely worries me, because I would rather see actual players that they can compete against to get similar feel and style of the play of the play. Um, so hopefully ASAP, because you we literally have 4 days from today as we're recording until that window closes. Until then, we gotta wait summer. So
Yeah. I going back to Saturday's game. I'm not worried, hence why I haven't talked a lot about it. But the only thing I am worried about is us personally. I think the only people that can beat us right for this game is ourselves.
yeah, yeah, we gotta we gotta get over these hurdles, these emotional hurdles, that whatever people are going over, whether it's communication with Crooks and Luna, they got to get on the same page and read each other, and then I think we're gonna be golden. I think Chicho needs to finish those chances, and then Gomez is gonna have a solid game. So I
Look,
think so.
I'm not gonna complain ever about Chicho right now.
No,
Since he's number one, I think he's number one on the MVP list. So I'm not gonna complain about him. It's just the other three that are behind him, I'll complain about.
if I could have like a write and vote, is it too early? Can it no?
Right,
Write in Chicho's name. Like, do I
he's.
get a say?
I mean, it's not a write-in. He's on the list. There's no need to write in. He's
No, like,
it's between him and Suarez.
no, I'll write my vote in. Like, I think everybody.
Sure, sure. Write your name
Sure,
in.
perfect. But with that, it's prediction time, my friend.
Let's do it.
So, like we said, back-to-back draws. Draw in Minnesota. Draw at home against Columbus. Chicago's not looking the greatest of teams. They are also coming off a 0-0 draw on the road to New York Red Bulls. I think RSL is going to find a way that we're going to actually finally get 3 points. This time, 2-0 RSL in the Windy City.
2-0. All right. Last time we played Chicago in Chicago. Actually, this is gonna be a total lie. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about 2015 was a time when we beat them. I think it was the last time we beat them in Chicago. So
It was. It
this is
was.
this is a repeat of 2015. And what did you just say? 2-0.
I said 2-0.
I'm gonna ramp it up. I'm gonna say 3-0. We're gonna go 3-0 because
Woo!
Chicago is that bad right now.
Oh boy.
It's getting hot in here. So score all of the goals. I said score all the goals.
No, that I'm confident. I'm confident. But 2015, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to when you sent me that, I was like, oh shoot, really? Really? And so yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So last time we actually played Chicago was 3 years ago, 2021. But last time we won against Chicago was 2015, with the likes of all the great players we had.
With the likes of All of them.
I was like, we had so many good players. I'm like, I'm not gonna name off names. We had so many good players back in 2015. So yeah,
Javi, Kyle, Nick.
9 years. Wow, 9 years.
So there you go.
We got to beat the 9 year curse come this Saturday. So everybody tune in 6:30 Soldier Field on MLS Season Pass. Kaye Beer Bar, wherever you guys want to watch it from your house. It's gonna be a good game.
It will be. It uh, it will be for us. Be a very good game for us.
You better be knocking on wood. Don't be there. There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys head over to Twitter and Instagram. Follow us at the RSL Bros and watch us.
Oh no, not me.
No, you not today. Not today. He
Not
he thought he thought he was wearing the shirt. So head over to Spotify and Apple so you guys can listen to us on the go, and then catch us on YouTube if you guys want to watch the video instead.
I mean, there's nothing more entertaining than watching my daughter do flips behind me.
So if you want to watch flips from Alan's shoulders, head over to YouTube. If you want to just listen to our voices, that works too. But we will catch you guys next week. You guys stay safe. Well, take care. Bye.
Ciao.